Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a double Incinerate team for the Open Great League. This team is designed to counter Wigglytuff as well as a Victreebel, which are two very toxic Pokemon that nobody would ever want to play anyway. So we're going to have a team with the Talonflame in the back as well as the Skeldritch. I showcased this team already on my channel, so yeah, you can also take a look at that video. Was I think a team that I stole. Sorry, didn't really research again which one I stole this from, but I think it hit like rank 1 in the world or something before, or like legend, anything of that. Definitely a very solid team here, nonetheless. We're going to have the say swap of Skeldritch being able to, yeah, just have great coverage. Honestly, there is only one typing, like one type combination that can resist every move of Skeldritch, like of them that we have here right now. Let me know in the comment section which one that is. Yeah, there's actually other Pokemon as well that has also Incinerate with their typing, so that's maybe a little bit of a hint. Anyway, we're going to have here the Wigglytuff against us, which is the Pokemon we want to counter with this team, and we're going to still have our Skeldritch in the back, which is going to be quite a great, because Skeldritch is going to be able to resist anything that the Wigglytuff is want to throw at us. I think Wigglytuff actually would learn the move Hyper Beam, which would be kind of hilarious, but I don't know like how many charms you need to get to an Hyper Beam. I think that is going to take quite a long time. I think it is actually, I don't know, I think 16? Don't know, definitely quite a lot of charms for sure. Nonetheless, we're going to have here again a very cool lead for at least our backline. So we swap out into our Skeldritch, we try to go for a Shadow Ball with our Skeldritch here as well, and we're going to be able to connect it straight away against the Shadow Gligar, allowing us to keep alignment, especially as the opponent does not even go up to a dig. Going for an Aerial Ace straight away doesn't really help you either, and so we can go for the full farm down. In comes Annihilate, and with this, game is over. Like Talonflame, Core Breaker. Talonflame is Core Breaker for quite a lot of teams in the current meta, and that is quite lovely. We can let the move go through, and at this point it's just playing out the game. We're gonna have, of course, to go into our Talonflame here against the opponent's Annihilate. We see already the damage output that we do here was just Incinerate, which I'm not too sure if a boost was needed towards Incinerate. Like, I don't mind it. Like, I think it's still kind of cool that Incinerate got a little bit more of a damage buff, but at the end of the day, don't know, like I don't know if it was really needed. Definitely one of the strongest fast moves currently in the game. But I guess I would like to see some more 5-turn moves as well. Would be kind of hilarious, like a grass type 5-turn move that generates like a lot more energy, like kind of like a Registeel type of energy, but still does some damage. Stuff like this would be kind of cool for the future, but maybe next season going to be different. Speaking of next season, while Great League is just coming up here right now, my alarm is set for 6 AM in the morning, because then we're going to get some new season news as well, which I'm going to try to make a video about. So if my next video is going to be me completely sleepy, that might be the reason for that, but I'm still going to try my best to cover it all. It's going to be released, or like, yeah, revealed in general on the live stream from Pokemon Go right now for the World Championship. So yeah, my alarm is set. Hopefully they're going to have the exact time there as well, but we have to see anyway. But I will try to cover it in the morning. I will try to do my best as well to do as much coverage as possible on this channel. And if you want to see stuff like this as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It is both free and I would really appreciate it. But my plan is basically, until we're gonna get up to the new season, I want to do basically one video a day where I'm gonna have some kind of content towards the new season, like Pokemon you want to build, Pokemon you want to avoid, stuff like this, all the good stuff. So definitely feel free to subscribe if you're interested in that. In comes here the Quagsire. They went straight for the move, which is quite lovely for me, because they have also the option to go for the Stone Edge, which is a one-shot against us. Awkward Tail is not a one-shot against us, and so we were able to kind of tell what they want to do here, but they were not able to tell that we want to go for a Flame Charge, knocking them out. And in comes again the Skarmory. I could have went for the Fly as well. This would have actually been kind of cool to go for the Fly, because then I would have been able to go for the Flame Charge here, which would be super effective. But it doesn't matter. We can go for the super, like for the boosted Fly here, I guess, which kind of looks like super effective, but just actually resisted. But we can go for a Body Slam now, and this should be enough to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have the Altaria in the lead. Altaria being one of the, a little bit more of the issue of this team here. Dragon type Pokemon can be a little bit tricky. You kind of want to bait them out anyway with the save swap of the Skeldritch, thanks to the move Disarming Voice, giving you some coverage for those Dragon type boys. But it's still not really ideal. We're gonna see here as well that a lot of times people pairing the Altaria with a Mudboy on the back, so can I be aware of that? That's a very common core. Here, I wasn't really too aware of it, but also it's not the worst matchup for me, because while I have 2 fire-type Pokemon in the back, I still have 2 shields as well, and I got them already very low, and Incinerate, as said before, is quite a strong, fast move, like literally doing so much damage here. Stone Edge coming through from the opponent, I don't really mind too much, as we can go into our own Talonflame. I am going to use a shield here onto a potential another Stone Edge. It's going to be the Awkward Tail, that's fine. They are going to be able to go for another move. I'm going to let the move go through, I think. It is going to be the Awkward Tail. And now it's down to Talonflame to win this battle. The opponent has 3 Pokemon left, now it's only 2. Let's see what is coming in next. It might be that Altaria again. It's going to be the Feraligatr, which is a bit of a trickier matchup. In comes though the Altaria to catch a move, which I'm totally okay with. Like, go ahead. Have fun with that, I don't really mind. And so we can go for another charge move here against the opponent's Feraligatr, get the shield, and now I just have to hope and pray that we are going to be fine here in this matchup and hope that our Vigoroth is going to be able to counter them down now. What we will see here is that the opponent is going to be able to just barely survive the next counter that is sneaking through here as well, and so that is a bit annoying. But maybe we can still get an Incinerate off, or let's find out here shortly. We are not going to be able to do that. Next opponent though, we're going to have a great lead, and this is kind of what we want to counter. We're going to encounter the Victory Bell as a save swap in the back. Very likely going to be something like Wigglytuff, something like this. A lot of times it is this kind of Pokemon. But as you're gonna see here, Leaf Tornado coming through and gonna get the double attack drop onto our Talonflame. That's not really ideal, but we can go ahead, go for a Flame Charge, do some nice damage, go for another Flame Charge afterwards to do even a little bit more damage, and let's see if this is going to work out. It is not going to really work out for us, to be fair, and we can now try to go ahead and go into the Vigoroth, trying to go for the full counter down, and we try our best here by using a shield onto the Stone Edge. This is going to get in the Medicham, actually a Pokemon out of like the old days of Pokemon Go PvP, which is kind of hilarious to see this one. Wonder what kind of moves that they're running right now. Psychic is not as common anymore because it's kind of a really bad charge move at this point. But they're running Power Punch, which I was able to let go through. But just in case they're going to use Psychic, if they're going to use a shield here, I will also use a shield against them. Also just to get some damage onto them, because if they hit now a Psychic and doesn't enough damage, which I don't think it would, even though it is a Psychic here, we would have been a little bit in trouble there for our Vigoroth. Like this though, we can go for back-to-back Shadow Balls most likely. We can go for one more fast move, go for another Shadow Ball afterwards. Or we are gonna just go ahead and go for the counter down and win the battle a little bit faster. Gligar in the lead. Not an ideal matchup for us, but we can just go ahead and go for one Body Slam. Body Slam is going to be great for this matchup for us. We are going to be able to get them kind of low. And depending on what they're going to do, we're going to try to react accordingly. So if they're going to go for a dig, you might be able to swap out just, or like go for a charge move first and then swap out afterwards. If they go straight for a dig, you could also just decide to go straight for the swap out and do Incinerate damage. Really depends on what the opponent is going to do here. But they're going to have a Lantern in the back, which is by far one of the worst matchups here that we could encounter, because a Water Gun Lantern is doing super effective damage against both of our Pokemon in the back, while also having good coverage with Surf against my team. And so we are a little bit in a tough spot here. But we can go for a Disarming Voice. That is going to be a move that I like to go for anyway. It's going to be able to get the shield. And they did not want to risk anything, and they go straight for a charge move here, which I definitely appreciate. This is going to do just enough damage to knock me out, which is totally fine. I try to swap onto the Vigoroth and try to knock them out in time, which does not work out, and they're gonna go into the Gligar, force me to use a shield here onto my Talonflame to keep it healthy. So basically, because I know that they should have a move stone on the Lantern, I kind of have to keep a charge move at any time here, and so we have to be very, very careful about this. They're gonna swap out into the Annihilate. I go up to 2 flies just in case they're gonna try to swap out afterwards, which I think they cannot do at this current time. And so we can go for the full farm down. In comes the Lantern, which has a move stored. It didn't help them because we can go for the knockout, and that's going to be it for this game. Moving on to another Altaria matchup in the lead. This is going to be a very tricky one as well again. We can try to go for the Rock Side against them to try to get some damage. Hopefully we're going to be able to connect it and the opponent does not decide to use a shield. Shield coming up though, which is not ideal. We can try to swap out and get a Disarming Voice off. Does this going to work here? We will find out as well. You're gonna go for the Sky Attack. I'm gonna let the move go through and they swap out into a Greedent. I don't like Greedent for this team. I guess like my lead is kind of good against Greedent, but like my backline kind of struggles a bit against it. At least, maybe actually not really, depending on the moveset they have. It's not even the worst there, and they might even go for a Trailblaze here. I have to see. We can go even for another charge move against them and force a shield, so they just don't really want to go for a charge move here at all for whatever reason, which I'm totally okay with. We are going to see here the opponent deciding to go ahead and go for the Trailblaze, doing some neutral damage while boosting their own attack, as I can go for a shield on the second move. going to be that boosted body slam. And in comes again the Altaria, which I tried to hit with a rock slide. This is going to do some nice super effective damage. They don't have shields anymore, so it's definitely going to hit. And now it's down to Talonflame to win this battle. I'm gonna let the move go through because it's not going to be something that's going to knock me out, and I'm not fearing any kind of fast move pressure at this point. And as you're going to have an Empoleon in the back, that decision was definitely the correct one, as a Hydro Cannon would have one-shot us, but like this we can go for a Flame Charge, and as we will see as well with the Incinerate damage that already came through, the opponent is gonna go down here after just one more Incinerate. We can go for that Fly, knock them out again, and this is going to be it for this game. We can move on to the next opponent. Vigoroth against the Feraligatr is going to be a fairly neutral matchup, but generally speaking a little bit better for our Vigoroth because it can survive one hit, and also the opponent is going to be in a spot where we do neutral damage and they do resist damage with their fast move, which is going to allow us to just add up a little bit on damage in terms of what we do against that Feraligatr. Also, it's just very good for us that this Pokemon is out here right now because our backline can struggle a little bit against it, but sadly the opponent was able to catch a move here on the Clodsire, and we are forced to swap out straight away because Clodsire has access to the move Stone Edge, which would one-shot our Pokemon here as well. So we have to be a little bit mindful of the energy of the opponent, have to go straight for another charge move as soon as we can. The opponent goes for that Stone Edge here. Of course we have to use a shield, and of course we have to go straight for another charge move to outspeed them, and otherwise there was no way of us winning this matchup here. And so they actually decided to go ahead and use their own shield, which is fine. I can go for the full farm down, and I now end up with one Fly basically stored, at least it's what I thought, but they actually swap out into that Feraligatr again, which is going to make this a little bit tricky because I am forced to get them a little bit lower. I lose the CMP here, but I can for sure fully farm them down with 2 Incinerates basically from my Skeledirge. But now it depends if we can still win with whatever they have in the back. It's going to be a little bit of a close one. Let's see what they have there in the back. We're definitely going to be able to beat the one Pokemon, but here there's going to be a Manabuzz in the back, and that is not ideal. Manabuzz, we still have super effective coverage, but in the way we are currently presented there, the opponent can just knock me out with just one Dark Pulse, and we don't have any shields to stop them. Second to last battle, we're going to have a Marowak in the lead, just a standard one, which is definitely a matchup that I misplayed a little bit because I wasn't paying too much attention or watching currently the World Championship as well on the side, so that is mainly why. But yeah, it's kind of cool, honestly. I kind of like to do my battles next to like watching something different, like here the World Championships. I think it's a cool thing. But anyway, the opponent decides to go for a Bone Club. We can try to go for the Rock Slide spam. Rock Slide is going to be able to do some nice damage against them if they're going to let the move go through, which they do. They swap out into the Ludicolo, and honestly, I did have not any really answer here for that Ludicolo. This was not English either. I don't know what it was, but Body Slam is going to be able to come through. We can swap out into that Talonflame and try to go for a full farm down, as we have to use a shield here, as a Scald would have knocked us out for sure. They have Ice Beam and most likely Leaf Storm, so that is going to be fine for us anyway, but as you will see here, we can go for the full farm down, and we have a ton of energy, and I was thinking I can easily survive a Shadow Bone, especially from a non-Shadow variant. Turns out I cannot, and turns out I put myself in a very bad spot with that. This was insanely unnecessary. I would have been able to just go straight for the charge move and would have either got knockout or the shield, but it doesn't mean that the game is over. So we can go for one charge move here. Disarming Voice is coming through. It's going to be able to get the final shield from the opponent, and as they go straight for the Night Stitch, I know they don't have Brave Bread. Brave Bread would have been the one thing that would have been scary here. I would have needed to catch the move, but as they go for the Night Stitch, I know I can go for the knockout here with a Disarming Voice, and now it's just down to if we can knock out that Marowak, and they see here as well, there's no way of winning this battle for them. Final battle for today, we're going to have a Gligar here. Let me know in the comment section as well, what team are you currently running in the Open Great League? I'm definitely looking for some team suggestions, especially if they're going to have a little bit more speed to it in terms of just getting battles done, because right now it's a little bit tedious to get like 100 battles done today. I didn't get all my battles done today either. I forfeited most of them as well, just to get some free Stardust. Would recommend you do the same. Just forfeit if you don't get them done and if you already reached the rank that you want to reach, because free Stardust is always nice. It's around like 3,000 for just forfeiting 5 battles, which I feel like is definitely worth getting. Especially if you're gonna forfeit like all battles or like all sets a day, you're gonna get like 60,000 Stardust for literally nothing, which is kind of cool, while even gaining other people some Stardust with it. So feel free to just play the game, forfeit the game, even if you don't play Go Battle League right now anymore. Just get some free starters. It's worth it during this event. Anyway, we're gonna see here the Timing Voice coming through, getting some nice damage onto the Vigoroth. We saw some lag there as well. I didn't bring in any of the very laggy battles, but there were a lot of games where I started way later than the opponent, which was not ideal. But in this game here, we're going to be totally fine, as you're going to have a 90s in the back. That's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you tomorrow for the new season update. So be excited for this, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.